100K, 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 every day, we don't play, here to stay, we here to stay, concentrate, anticipate, it's okay,
Hello, my crypto juggernauts and family. Welcome to the Mx3 Crypto Report, your destination for relevant crypto information when you need it the most. My name is Michael, and we have Mike.
Peace.
And we have Mark.
Hey, everybody.
And we are Mx3. Thank you for tuning in today. As per usual, subscribe, give us a like, and hit that notification button. Also, leave a comment. We appreciate your support as we continue to give you some more valuable content. All right, let's head over to what we're going to talk about today. All right, family. So this is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the Pulsechain that has come out. Pulsechain, it hasn't officially come out. Sorry, let me rephrase that to you guys. The testnet of Pulsechain has come out. This is the version 2B has come out, and it's the way I've experienced it, it's probably pretty much similar to almost the version that's going to come out in the mainnet. There's a lot of upgraded features. The Pulse Swap is out, and it's looking pretty good. It's been running pretty good on my end. And today we're just going to explore some of the features that are going to be out in the Pulsechain that could help out with not only getting these new coins with the Pulsechain, with the Pulsechain coin, and then the Pulse X coin, some of these incentives coins, but also looking into the passive income that can also be generated from the pools and the farming and the staking of these coins. So let's jump into it. So over here, the founder of Pulsechain, Richard Hart, had posted some links to the testnet on Twitter, and so we just clicked on them, which I already have pulled up over here. But one important thing that we have to note is if you want to go to the Pulsechain testnet, you're going to have to change some of your Metamask settings. You're going to have to change some of your Metamask settings to go to the Pulsechain network. So
hey, Mike,
let's try to. Yep.
Can I just ask one thing? Can you maybe give just a brief summary of what Pulsechain is for people who have no idea what it is?
Absolutely. Thanks for bringing that up, Mike, by the way. So yeah, guys, Pulsechain it's a blockchain network. It's based off the Ethereum network, but this chain is going to be forked. This chain basically is going to be forked. A forking is just basically like a splitting away from the chain. And it's basically a sort of duplication of that chain, and it's split away from that chain. So that's basically what is happening. So Pulsechain is going to have its own token called the Pulse, the PLS, or the Pulsechain token. So that's going to be the cryptocurrency coin for the Pulse chain network, and it's also going to have its own exchange. So this exchange is going to be somewhat forked of the Uniswap type of format, and it's the coin for that, or the token for that, is going to be the Pulse X. So what we're talking about here is a whole system copy of the Ethereum network, which is going to duplicate not only the network itself, but all the coins that are on there. So that means that if you have coins on that network, you're going to get a free copy on this network too. And of course, if you have hex stakes or any type of hex instances, you're going to get a duplicate of that copy on this blockchain. So that's what is really happening. It's a massive airdrop of sorts, and so it's going to be really interesting, and a lot of people that get in early on this will be satisfied if they know what they're doing. How does that sound, guys?
Perfect.
Very nice.
All right.
we get more good stuff.
Yeah. You know, like Oprah, you get a car, you get a car.
There you go. There you go.
All right. So what we're gonna do here is we need to change our settings on MetaMask because this is a different blockchain that we're gonna operate on. So let's click over to MetaMask. Can you guys see the MetaMask at the moment?
Yep, sure can.
Okay. So right now we're on MetaMask, and can you see my mouse?
Yep.
At the top here. So you can see that my mouse is hovering around this column right here, which is the Ethereum mainnet. So we have the Ethereum mainnet up, but what we want is to go to the Pulsechain mainnet or the Pulsechain network, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch networks. So this is how you switch networks on MetaMask. So you come over here to the Ethereum mainnet, and then you go to add network. So we're gonna click on add network, boom. Okay, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna have to fill out just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? It's not hard, don't freak out, this is super easy. Okay, guys, say super easy with me. Super easy. This is fast, all right? It's gonna happen real fast. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna go to back to the Twitter, right? And right here, we're gonna go to pulsechain.com. And so when we go to pulsechain.com over here and click on the link, it brings us to this page, and we're just gonna copy this information. We're going to copy this information word for word where we see it, and then we're going to copy and paste it. So right now we see network name. So just highlight it, copy it, and then go back to here, network name. And then you just paste it, okay? All right. And then we're going to go back, new RPC URL. We're just going to highlight over this, and then we're going to copy this. And then we are gonna paste it. And then we're gonna come over here to the chain ID 941. Put that right there. Paste. Currency symbol, I already know that. That's TPLS. But in case you don't know it, it's right here too. Currency symbol. TPLS, you can copy and paste it. And then we're gonna skip this faucet and we're gonna go underneath to the blockchain, the block explorer URL, and we're gonna copy that. Copy, come over here and paste it. All right, super easy. And then we're just gonna click save. Boom. So as you can see right now up here, the Pulsechain testnet. All right, so this isn't the official one that's launching. This is just for the users to test that they got their coins that they sacrificed for. Everything is working. Everything is on point, you know, and stuff like that. And for new users that didn't even sacrifice, there's ways for you to also test this too. So everybody gets to test this.
That was pretty easy.
Yeah, it was.
Yep. So as we can see right now, we don't have any test Pulsechain coins at the moment. And we're gonna need some coins so that we can function in this test net. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to get some coins somehow. So how we're gonna get our coins is we're gonna go to a faucet. So over here is a faucet. So let me explain what a faucet is, by the way. So a faucet, if you were around in the early Bitcoin days, they had a lot of faucets. So that means they had a place where you could get free Bitcoin in the early days and just experiment and play around with. So you could get like 1, 2, 3 Bitcoin in the early days, but nowadays you can't do that anymore, you know?
That would
Right. You're not going to get 60,000 or 40,000 or 30,000 to play around with. Okay, guys? So what's happening now with Pulsechain is some developers have created a faucet whereby you can go and get some Pulse to play around with. Of course, this is a test version of the faucet, but when the mainnet launches, you also have that option to also experiment with these faucets too. So this is one version of the faucet. Over here, I think we'll try to explore two today. So let's go to it. So what happens first is we're going to, let me move this over here. Okay. So Metamask is asking us for, to connect, and we're just gonna connect real quick.
That's not actually showing. We just see a blank box up there.
Okay. So I don't know why it's not showing, but we're just gonna assume that that's Metamask. Metamask is gonna pop up, and it's just gonna let you guys click next on it and then click confirm, just so that you can connect to this, right? And then what happens is your address automatically populates down here. It automatically populates after you click connect. And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna receive 10 TPLS for free after you come over here. So you just hit request, and it automatically goes to your address. It automatically goes to your address, and that's a cool feature right there. Okay. And so, and then there's another faucet.
Well, it looked like it popped up right away in MetaMask.
Yes. So it goes straight to your address right here in MetaMask.
Okay.
And so that's really cool right there. So right now we had 0, but now we have 10. But we're probably going to need a little bit more than that to experiment. So I'm going to see if we can get a little bit more. If we can't, that's fine. We'll still explore other features and stuff like that. So there's another faucet.
So Mike, is this actual tokens that people are receiving, or is this just something that's you can just play around with, but it's not really valued at anything?
Yeah, so this is not valued at anything yet. This is just something that you can play around with and just experiment with. Okay. So there's no value behind this. When the mainnet actually launches, then there's going to be value around this, you know. So right now, people can actually go on, and if they sacrificed an amount of money or they did anything prior, like an ICO or something like that, they can actually go on and see the exact amount of coins they received, you know, and stuff like that. So this isn't my real MetaMask account, but on my real MetaMask account, when I logged in, I saw the exact number of coins I received and stuff like that, and everything was looking good. So right now,
Free Pulse. Whoa. Too many colors.
Okay. Yeah. So I think this is it. This is another place you can get it. You can log into your MetaMask. It's just gonna say next and connect, and then probably sign into it. And then over here, it's gonna ask you to click each motor bus. Okay.
Okay, so just for reference, that's freepulse.io.
Yes, this is freepulse.io. Sorry, I didn't say that.
That's okay.
So this is freepulse.io, and the other one was faucet.v2b.testnet.pulsechain.com. So these are just all testing out. So luckily for us, we got about 10,000 pulse over here to test out. So what we would do is withdraw it. So click withdraw, press OK. And so that will go straight into our MetaMask here. Let me click refresh. Should be. coming through. There it is. Okay.
Bingo.
All right. So now we got our 10,000 TPLS test pulse. And now we're going to go and experiment some of the places that we can mess around with on the pulse chain. So first and foremost, we can be validators, or we can stake with a validator. So let's go to that real quick.
What's the difference, Michael?
So the difference is a validator on pulse chain is the one that make sure that the transactions are going through in the staking the transactions are going through, because this is a proof of stake network. So this is a proof of stake network and not a proof of work. So the validators are the ones, like, almost in a sense, they are the ones that are calculating the equations for the blocks, help with the blocks, signages and stuff like that. They're the ones that are calculating the equations and stuff, just like how the miners would on the proof of work and stuff like that. So that's what a validator is.
Okay.
Sorry if I didn't explain it to those that are more advanced. Sorry if I didn't explain it that well, but that's my understanding of what a validator is. And so what we would do is come over here and click this button right here, and that would take us over here. So over here we can see that there are, so at every given point in time, there's about 33 validators. There's about 33 registered validators at every given point in time on the Pulsechain network. So these are, and so with every validator, you can apply to be a validator on Pulsechain. You need to have at least 500,000 Pulse to be a validator. And so every time a validator comes into rotation, there's there are certain factors that come into place. One, the validator gets to designate how much the amount of revenue one may get from being staked within this validation. The validator also is monitored, and we can see that if the validator has done anything, is misusing his role, we can see it by the misdemeanors and the felonies, right? I know a misdemeanor is maybe, I forgot exactly how that works, I won't lie, but I know that if they do anything wrong that the code doesn't like, or, so this is good in my eyes, because the thing is that most other platforms, when they're dealing with validators, you don't get to see if they're screwing around with you or not. But here, if you see how this would benefit me, is that I would want to go to somebody that has 0 misdemeanors and 0 felonies to stake with, because they haven't been messing around with people's stakes and stuff like that. As we can see in this one over here, this one has 3 misdemeanors and 1 felony. I don't think you'd want to rock with that person right there. Right. Because, maybe they're up to something fishy, And so if you wanted to place a pulse stake with one of these guys, you want to rock with the person that has 0. You'd also want to rock with somebody that has the validation in rotation. And you'd want to rock with somebody that can give you a large chunk of the revenue share. This one over here, for example, this one right here, gives you 100%. It gives you 100% of the revenue share based on how many people are splitting that revenue. So it's actually you get 100% of what's being, but you have to split it, fraction it up with how many other people are within that state. So that means the validator doesn't get any, but we all get a share of that, Of course, the validator may get other processing fees, but he doesn't get the complete revenue share of the staking and stuff like that going on. So in order to place a stake, but let me ask y'all, does that make sense to y'all?
Yeah, it does, but is there any way to know how many other people are actually
Yeah. So to see the total, to see how many stakes have been, so that's the total stake value over here. So that's how many, how much like Pulse has been put into it. This is the pending stake value over here. And this is the total amount of rewards that have been made from it so far. And as you can see, it differs from the different validators. And as I said, there's about 33 validators in all.
Is there any way a validator can be removed? Because I'm still looking at that one validator with 3 misdemeanors and 1 felony. I mean, once they have a certain amount of transgressions, are they like automatically removed or?
Yeah, they're, I don't know about being automatically removed, but what happens is that the validator list refreshes every 24 hours. So I don't know what the code is by them trying to get back in, but so even if they try to get back in, you would see it and you probably wouldn't want to stake with them. And then number 2 is that you would see that you probably wouldn't want to stake with them. And then they also have to pay to be a validator. So once again, they have to pay 500 Pulse to be a validator to get these rewards. And if people are not staking with them, I mean, you know, so 1 + 1 is 2. They probably wouldn't want to be a validator, and you don't also want to stake with them, you know. So I don't think there's necessarily a ban because all of this is autonomous, you know, it's based on code. So I don't know if there's a person that there's no person that this is just AI and stuff like that.
You can see the offenders don't have any rewards either. So
right.
Imagine after a while, they'll probably just kind of stop trying to validate it.
Right. So everything is at the discretion of the user, you know. So that's why it's good to be properly educated on this and see what's going on.
Now, how did you identify that one was in rotation?
Yeah, if you look here, it says in rotation and it says yes.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, all of them were.
Yeah, and then some of them say no here.
Okay.
And so what I've learned, and you know, this stuff is still very new, so we are all learning together and picking up on this together. And what I have studied and learned is that with some of them over here, there's different minimum prices that you can get in at. I don't exactly know how come, but like for this one, we can just get in. Like, so it will say the minimum price down here. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it will say like 3,397. So minimum of 0.01% of stake required. So I think it's the 0.01% of the total stake is the minimum requirement for us to stake and get in here. That's what I'm thinking. So this one like says 3,000. Let me look if I can find one that's a little bit cheaper. Let's read the rules and facts real quick. Maybe that might give us a little. Maybe we should have done that in the beginning.
What? We got
all right. Reading, I hate reading. No, I'm just playing. So rules and fact. Validator rotation occurs every era, which equals 28,800 blocks, which is about 24 hours at the target 3-second block time. So validator registration and rotation rules. 1, maximum of 33 validators in rotation at any given time. 2, no limit to the number of registered validators. 3, there is a non-refundable deposit required for validator rotation. 4, at time of registration, validators determine what their revenue share with stakers will be in a simple percentage form from 0% to about 100%. 5, at time of rotation, validators already in rotation are paid any fees they have occurred over the last cycle through the staking contract, which also distributes payments to the stakers automatically. Pending stakes become real stakes. Validators are then ranked by their total stake and the top 33 selected. Okay. So validators that are unresponsive or otherwise fail to produce, this is 6 by the way, fail to produce their block in turn will be slashed. So I think this is where the penalization comes from that we were trying to figure out. So once again, 6, validators that are unresponsive or otherwise fail to produce their block in turn will be slashed. Slashes are tracked over time. Once 50 slashes have been reached, the validator is given a misdemeanor. This zeroes out the accrued fees the validator has earned up to that point in the rotation, but they can still earn fees for future blocks. The income stripped from the validator will be later distributed evenly among all validators. Once 150 slashes have been reached, the validator is given a felony. This does everything the misdemeanor. It does everything that's in the misdemeanor and removes validator from current rotation, which I think, Mike, that's what you were trying to say. So it removes the validator from current rotation. So if you would look on their list, it'll probably say, no, they're not in rotation. And slashes decay over time. Every rotation will move up to 30. This also answers your question again. So the slashes decay over time. Every rotation will remove up to 37 slashes from the validator. So I guess there's a redemption process in this.
Wow.
There's a bit of a redemption process.
Wait, and you can can be deemed and commit more felonies.
Slashes decay over time, and every rotation will remove up to 37 slashes.
Okay.
But the thing is that if you do get your slashes, you are missing out on fees. So I guess it's still an incentive for you to behave yourself. Because you don't want to miss out on fees, right, and stuff like that. And plus, we don't know the decay time.
Yeah.
It could be months. It could be years. We don't know the decay time. So however long they're going to be in jail, we do not know. And validators can unregister themselves if they wish to go offline. All right, boom. Staking rules. Stakers can add stakes to one or more validators. Stake added to a validator currently in rotation will be considered pending until the next cycle. Okay, so that means if I add my stake now, I got to wait until the next cycle until my stake shows up and it's active, I presume. This prevents users from sniping fees by adding stake to validators that are about to be paid. This also means that users are only rewarded for their stake that counted towards the validator being selected. 3, after adding stake to any given validator, the stake must wait a full cycle, which is 28,800 blocks, before they're able to remove the stake from that validator. 4, stakers will be paid based on their share of the overall stake. So for example, if the validator has 50% revenue share and 2 stakers exist with 2 and 3, test pulse delegated, then the stakers will receive 20% and 30% based on that 2 and 3 of the validator's rewards respectively, with the remaining 50% going to the validator. Does that make sense, guys?
Yep.
Yeah, it makes sense. My only question is if this is if it doesn't have any value, how are they really being rewarded? Or is all of this just a test? Or is once Pulsechain is really opened up to the public, are this gonna carry over for them and they'll be rewarded?
Oh yeah. So there's test values on this.
Okay.
So there's test values, but there's not actual real world market values. So it's just like in the stock market, how they have those programs whereby you can test out the stock market before actually entering the stock market. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just.
I think it's Shadow. I can't remember the exact name, but I know what you're talking about.
Right. So we just tested it out. And they have some fake values and stuff just for you to test it out. But nothing rolls over. So you can go crazy on this or be as conservative as you want. It's just for you to make sure that you're testing it out for the developers and making sure that there's no bugs or anything that's wrong with the code or the software.
Yeah.
And so that everything is perfect. Nothing is crashing. Nothing is going haywire before mainnet comes out, where you're actually dealing with real world money and values.
Okay.
So only stakers with at least 0.01% share of the stake will get paid at all, and only if their earnings are at least one way based on their share and the validator rewards. FAQ, I just added to my existing stake. Why won't allow me to remove that stake that's been there for more than 28,800 blocks? Multiple stakes from a single address on a single validator are not tracked separately. When you add an existing stake, it resets the clock for removing stake for all the stake you have on that validator. You could still remove the stake from a different validator that you have not recently added the stake to. Okay, something like this. 10, as we can see here, down here, it's 2.4 TPLS, and so 0.01%. So if I just throw in a 10, that should be good enough for it. And then we click add. The Metamask thing comes up, and we click confirm over here, and then boom, it should go up into it, and there we go. Confirmation transaction confirmed. Okay, and then check back here on Metamask activity, so we can check out our activity back on Metamask and see that we added a stake for -10. So every activity that you do, you can always check it back here on Metamask, so that you can be straight with where if it says if whatever you did didn't go through, it's going to say failed over here. So it didn't say fail. It had a green thing that over here, the color is green, so that means it went through. So going back to where we were. So once again, it says it takes a certain period of time before the block starts working. So I guess we're just gonna let it wait and do its own thing. Bada boom, bada bing. Awesome. So that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you. Please do not forget to subscribe, drop a like, and hit that notification button if you haven't already done so. Also, kindly leave some comments. We don't have everything right. We're just exploring with you guys, and we love to know what you know. And then we'll try our best to answer them as soon as possible. Once again, thank you so much. And we'll be here around the same time next week to give you that relevant information you need the most. Peace.
Peace.
Tomorrow can be a better day if you're looking to get some figures for better pay. Invest in yourself, man, that is the only way. Get your clout up, 100K followers. How you do that, man? By not being a follower. How you get there, man? Hustling and bustling. Then you spice it up, put some brain.